1984. Trying to keep up with Vinyl Richie. You got a good jump on me, but we've been doing this back and forth, and a few others have been doing it, looking at their favorite albums from that particular year, or what they say is the best albums. So I have mine from 84. But in 84, let's just talk real quick. Miami Vice started, and men's fashion would never look the same again. And yes, I did dress in the Miami Vice, roll up the whatever. Gotta look at Don Johnson back then. So that was neat. Ghostbusters, 1984. That was great. And there was a McDonald's in California, mass shooting. 21, I think, killed in there. And we still don't have it figured out. That was 1984. It goes way back before then. So, Ronald Reagan got elected again. There you go. Okay, but albums. First two I just want to show. I don't have the cover, so they couldn't make it in the top 10. Covers I'm still looking for, but there's XTC's Big Express, which is a very good album. I really enjoy XTC. Through the years, I've gotten to like them a whole lot more. And then Big Black Family Man, which is too bad because that is one heck of a cover, but mine isn't nearly as good. Someday we'll get covers for those. Here's some that didn't quite make it. Not going to talk much about them, but actually, if you look on the walls behind me, that's all music from 1984, albums that I currently have. But Dead Can Dance came out with their very first album in 1984. Something really kind of different, a little gloomier, very interesting, off 4AD. Very neat. We had this was a great album, but didn't quite make it. The Wonderful and the Frightening World of the Fall. The bass playing is so freaking phenomenal from the Fall. They just had the most funky bass player in the whole wide world. Wonderful album. I used to not like the Fall. When I was first buying Fall albums, I just find them in bargain bins. I didn't like them. That has totally changed, and I really, really dig that band. This one came close to making it, but not quite. Public Image. What is it? This is what you want. This is what you want. And of course, this has the song, This Is Not a Love Song. That is a great song from Public Image. Totally love it. But not quite there. And this was just such a good song. Such a great album from that year. And I got this a couple years ago. The Pandoras. It's About Time. When you think Paisley Underground and what was happening, this girl group was incredible. They had such a good garage rock feel, perfect for the Paisley Underground. Really a top-notch album. It doesn't cost an arm and a leg, but well worth. If you were to see one, pick it up. If they reissue it, pick it up. So let's get into number 10. Number 10. I think this was Vinyl Richie's number 1, The Smiths. And this is their original album. Was not a big Smiths fan at the start either. There's a lot of these, I just kind of, the Human League was going on, the Thompson Twins, that kind of crap. This, when I've re-listened, it, when the one thing about, when you lose your whole collections, you get all these records back in and you re-listen to them. But now you're re-listening to them at 20, 30 years later, and you hear so much more. And, Tone Scott, he had sent me some Johnny Marr solo albums that were incredible. So when I listen to this, I'm really paying attention to Johnny Marr. Morrissey's vocals, they soar, they're great, they're low, they're high, great vocalists. But Johnny Marr, I really love the guitar playing, and he only gets better. So that's number 10. Number 9, and I am surprised about this. It takes re-listening at times, and that's what I was doing. Van Halen 4, 1984. Van Halen 1984. I did not expect this to be on there. You know, it has Jump, and Jump was just played so much, and I really, the synthesizer just kind of, at the time it was really neat, but you know, through time, it's lost. It's very 80s sounding now, but the songs, there is some hard rock on here without none of the keys. I mean, the whole band didn't want a synthesizer. Eddie Van Halen really we got to have keys. And he finally convinced them, let's put keys on here. And it was the last one with David Lee Roth. But when they're just doing their thing and rocking, this explodes. And I was blown away by how much I liked it. And I didn't expect that. I thought, okay, it's just going to be one of the ones on the back wall. Nah, this thing was awesome. So, yeah, again, not Jumps, just it's worn, it's 80s. Some of this other stuff isn't. But it kind of did change the way metal began going. Okay, that was number 9. Number 8. Oh my goodness. This was one I learned through a compilation album and became a big fan. So now, really, this is the only one I have, is the Cocteau Twins. And I believe Treasure, I think it's their first one. I could be wrong on this, but there's talk about ethereal music. You know, her lyrics, when she sang, and I would love to say her name right on here, but of course it won't be written on here for me, and I can't remember it. But the lyrics don't make a lot of sense. It's just the lyrics are about making sounds, using words to make certain sounds. And so it is an instrument, but it's ethereal. It floats. It really, you know, and you just, when they did this, again, it started something new. It was a new music trend that went into the 90s. And, you know, even you think into trip hop and stuff like that. All part of what I think that came out of the Cocteau Twins. Incredibly good stuff. I'm so happy to get this. And it's a beautiful original 4AD. Just beautiful condition. Number 7. More. For those of you that like rock, yes, I have rock. I do. And I like it. I don't always buy it. But Stevie Ray Vaughan, Double Trouble, couldn't stand the weather. It's similar to his first one, Texas Flood, but it just takes off. It keeps going, and it's just great Texas blues. Scuttlebutt, Voodoo Child, you know, Slight Return from Hendrix is awesome. He does 4 covers and 4 originals on this album. But what he does show is he's a virtuoso. 2 of his originals were just instrumentals because that's what he was comfortable with. But as he went, he began doing more and more singing. It's on fire. You know, Stevie Ray Vaughan, it's just incredible guitar work. You know, I'm sorry, you know, we lost him early, but it's the way it is. Okay, that was number 7. Number 6. Slow Snowballs, How Will the Wolf Survive? My first Slow Snowballs album was By the Light of the Moon. And when I bought that, it was one of those life-changing kind of albums where it brought in Latino music. Tex-Mex was brought to my ears, and I loved it. The use of the accordion, which I thought was just like you never want to touch, and it sounded fantastic. And so I began buying their other albums, and this one here is just incredible. They had their first album, which was pretty much all in Spanish. There are a few songs in Spanish on here, but otherwise it's just wonderful rock and roll. And How Will the Wolf Survive? Evangeline's on here. Don't Worry, Baby. Wonderful. Just so much good stuff. It just showed what this group was going to do, and really melding rock with Mexican music, folk songs, and just turned, you know, to me, rock upside down. Great. Number 5. I was trying to see. I wanted to make sure I had that right here, but yes, number 5. I'm not taking it out. Zen Arcade. I just showed this, I think last week. I got in this one and one other from Uskadoo. This is where Uskadoo began to come around. A concept album that I really can't figure out, but the thing is, it's loud, it's hard, it's fast, but there's melody buried in there. You got to listen for it, but underneath all that loud guitar is melody. 60s pop sensibility is happening. Classic of all times. If you're into the punk, the hardcore, this is an absolute must-have. And then of course, Bob Mould went on to do his own solo stuff. Sugar, which was an incredible group, but Zen Arcade, really, Uskadoo finally came of age, and they began making some wonderful stuff. Number 4. It took me a while to get this. Finally, one came into my local store at Radio Wasteland, the Minutemen. Double nickels on a dime. Richie pointed this one out too. It's 2 albums set, and that's all the lyrics. It's just, hey, okay, we're going to sing along now. It doesn't quite work out. This is another punk classic. It is so good. It's so, but they're stretching themselves. They're doing different things. They were a very political group. Doing anything about politics was nothing new for them, but they're doing other things with this. And it's a wonderful album. So many songs, very fast. Not all of them are fast though, but they are also learning melody. And they're coming up with more of that. And it is just one of the a classic of all times. Easy, like Zen Arcade and this, top 100 albums for me. Probably top 50 because of the importance that they had in my life and on that scene of the hardcore and the punk. Number 3. My favorite album from this group, The Bangles, All Over the Place. Pure beauty. Their harmonies were incredible. Part of the Paisley Underground. This was more with the Paisley Underground. After that, it got very pop. They began bringing in pop sensibilities on this. But there is real beauty to the songs that they are making on here. And you can have that, you feel that Paisley Underground. Going Down to Liverpool, what a wonderful song. It's All About You, Hero Takes a Fall. Beautiful stuff. This was showing, hey, here we are here. And of course, then they came out and they really hit, the pop scene as they began having albums that, began hitting number one singles. Let's face it, a very good looking group, so perfect for videos, no doubt about it. Kind of like the Go-Go's, perfect for videos, but they had the music to back it up. And this is, to me, the very best Bangles album. The only one I really, truly need. My greatest hits is okay. Number 2, really important album to me. There's my original, The Liars, Fire. Out of Boston. They were on fire. This might be their debut. They might have put out one before that. But it starts up with Don't Give It Up Now and then Help You Ann. 2 absolute alt-rock classics. You want an alt-rock compilation, Left of the Dial, College Rock, those 2 are going to be on it. Incredible. This was a group. They understood melody. They had an organ. So you had kind of that Paisley Underground feel going on with this Fossa organ. But the thing is, they were fast and hard, and they rocked very, very hard. More punk when it came to the rock, but they had pop sensibilities. And to hear Don't Give It Up Now and Help You Ann, they're garage rock. It's just like garage rock 101 happening there, but done in such a great way. This is, well, it's number 2. So obviously it's an incredible album and really happy. The Liars, to me, you don't go wrong. But this is the very best Liars. Liars, Fire. And finally, my number one, and the Replacements, Let It Be. They got their crap together. And they've made an album that actually wasn't total chaos, shall we say. I love the Replacements. This was the beginning. Then they came out with Tim, and which was another incredibly good album. But they do have I Will Dare and Androgynous. Just a piano. Paul Whisper is playing piano. He has figured out songwriting, but it doesn't have to be loud, fast, hard, and snotty. Androgynous is a beautiful song. Now, there's also Gary's Got a Boner. Okay, loud, fast, hard, snotty. Gary's Got a Boner. Jesus. Oh, my God. Answering Machine. Unsatisfied is a beautiful song. He's just pleading. He's just, I'm unsatisfied. And Westward's voice just pleads. It comes out. Tommy got his tonsils out. Okay, here we go again. Crazy crap. So they do Kiss's Black Diamond. They do an awesome job of Kiss's Black Diamond. This is, again, the Replacements figuring things out. Yeah, they still have some of that juvenile stuff, but they're really starting to get things together, especially Westerberg in his writing. So my favorite album from 1984. So that's it. Please let me know what your favorite albums are. Obviously, it's not all of those, but you know, there was a lot of stuff. There was a lot of stuff I hated in '84 too. And a lot of the pop scene, I was like, oh my God, this is so bad. But there was so much good music also. And what I got behind me are just albums that I really, really enjoy. Some of those groups you know, some you don't. But to me, they're great. Thanks, everyone. Tune in Sunday. Don't forget our podcast we get going on Podbean. Two guys talking about records. You can also take a look at Radio Wasteland, his channel, Radio Wasteland, and it's on there. Appreciate everyone stopping by. Bye.